Hello, sinners. It is I, Father Evil, and I invite you to Destination Station on YouTube.
Bagels can go to Destination Station. This buddy is the bomb. Love him.
Yep.
Fucking A.
Yep.
I had to say that for a reason.
Freddie, take that, motherfucker.
All right. Okay. Fuck you.
Yeah. Jamie Kennedy. Subscribe to my man, Destination Station, right now if you want the best content.
What's up? Welcome to Destination Station. As always, I'm Destin. Thank you for clicking on this video. Subscribe to Destination Station if you want Scream, Halloween, and everything in between. And follow me on all my socials. All the links are down in the description below. And I am going to be starting up my live streams again this Friday night, 10 p.m. Central. So yeah, stick around. Hit the subscribe button. What do you got to lose?
Let me get to the damn fucking part.
Today I want to talk about something. There's not a whole lot of stuff spinning around about Scream 7. We got some rumors, maybe a Christmas setting, maybe not. Nothing's really confirmed. And we don't know if Neve Campbell's coming back or not. But I want to take this time and talk about what I kind of want the Scream franchise to do or pivot away from. And if you've seen the thumbnail of my video, you know where I'm kind of going with this. But I feel like Scream is like my favorite horror franchise of all time. It really is. Scream, the first Scream is like hit me at just the right age. It was everything I ever wanted in a horror movie. It was fun. It didn't take itself. It took itself seriously when it needed to, but then it also had some good characters and some good charismatic characters that were funny, you know, and I always enjoyed that first movie. And I feel like every movie, and it kind of started going a little downhill as far as like not I don't want to say quality, but as far as like the motives and the story and how original that first one was. It was like it just did not capture the magic of what Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson did with that first movie. And let me be clear right now. There's no bad Scream movie. Every one of them has a special place in my heart. I love every one of them. I don't think there's a bad entry at all. But we all have to admit that first Scream movie was lightning in a bottle. It felt like it was something fresh for us horror fans, for us slasher fans, for whodunit fans, you know. And it was a horror movie for horror fans. And I know that you know, Stab, the movie within a movie that was based off the Woodsboro murders and everything, was introduced in Scream 2. And I never really thought about it. Like, it was okay for what it was for Scream 2, you know, but it seems like we started veering more into the Stab meta-universe mixed with Scream throughout the entire franchise. And I really feel like that's the place where this franchise started to pivot away from being a serious horror movie with horror elements of like serious motives behind the killers, you know, and you know, with these new movies that Radio Silence has done, and now we got Scream 7 coming along with Christopher Landon, they are starting to take that more serious tone with Ghostface. Ghostface is becoming a little bit more mean-spirited. He's getting a little bit more vicious. We're getting better kill scenes. It's getting more intense, I guess you would say, and a little bit more bloodier as well. But it still doesn't feel like it can hit that landing the way we want it to when it comes to the climax and to the ending and the killer's reveal and their motives behind what they're doing. You know, it all feels like it's rehashing the same stuff. You know, if you're anything like me, I felt like in Scream 5, or if you just want to call it Scream, whenever the killers were revealed, I was ready, with it mirroring the first Scream, I was ready for it to really hit home with something really, really good. You know, I know we all had our fingers crossed for Stu Macher's return, and we might still get it, especially with the Five Nights at Freddy's thing, and he's got a new movie coming out, or a new series or something with Mike Flanagan that's going to be coming out, so he is getting back in the game. Maybe he's fearing up to be in a new Scream movie. We might get it, we might not. But that's what we wanted with that first Scream movie. A lot of us did. Some of us didn't, I get it. But we needed that big twist, that big reveal, that big reason for motive, okay? And that's where I want to talk about here, is that every time since Scream 2 to Scream 6, and we have dabbled into this stab metaverse, I feel like the quality is starting to, like, it brings it down a little bit. It's okay to keep it in the background a little bit, you know? Like, I feel like Scream 6 and Scream 7 did a better job at just like, hey, stab is a thing, but we're not focusing on stab, not like Scream 2, 3, and 4, you know? Like that's where it was kind of like, we started, like, I really think that we started playing with that line of, oh, well, a lot of people confuse Scream with Scary Movie. Yeah, because it starts getting a little bit more cheesy and goofy, and they're trying to do blend the whole comedy with horror thing, and 1 did it perfectly, 2 did it pretty damn well, 3 started, you know, really going home with the comedy. 4, a lot of people love 4. That's one thing that I was hoping with 4, was that we were going to take in a more serious, you know, tone and approach. But that opening scene set the tone of that movie, in my opinion. And we started just doing more stab, and it's like, do you recall the first time you ever saw that scene in Scream 2? I remember whenever I was in the theater and I saw that trailer, or that scene that was presented to us when Dewey and Randy were sitting in the ice cream shop, and they see a interview of Tori Spelling, and they see a little scene of her and everything with the guy who's playing Billy and Tori Spelling. What was his name? Patrick Wilson.
Look, I've been going through a lot lately, Billy. And my mom...
Sid, I think you need to just deal with that and move on. I mean, when my mom left my dad, I accepted it. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Moms leave.
Yeah, your mom left town. She's not buried in a cemetery somewhere. My mom's dead and she's never coming back. Ever.
Stupid.
Ooh, I love scary movies.
I'll wait for video.
I'm sorry if my complicated life is an inconvenience to your perfect existence.
Cindy. Cindy.
And even with the opening scene with Heather Graham, which that was okay for that scene. That was a really cool opening for that scene. But then it was like, when we saw that one scene whenever with Dewey and Randy watching it, it was kind of like, it was goofy. It was a moment that we laughed because it was Patrick Wilson going stupid, you know, popping his head, but it wasn't like how Billy did it, how Skeet Ulrich did in Scream. And I understand they're not trying to do it the exact same. Maybe the intention was supposed to be funny, but we're not supposed to be going that funny. We're not supposed to be almost Scary Movie spoof-like. And that's where I feel that has kind of seeped into the Scream franchise, is from the opening of Stab and focusing so much on it. And that's why that's why I kind of want the Scream franchise to completely veer away from it, or, you know, just kind of like do away with the Stab movies. Because even with Scream 5 and Scream 6, Scream 5 with, you know, spoiler alert if you haven't seen this, seen the ending of Scream 5 or Scream 6, but you know, with Richie and Amber, the reasonings for their killing is because of their fans of the movies, and all the sequels sucked and all that stuff of the Stab franchise. And it was just kind of like, again, like that's the big thing, you know, like Scream 5 is supposed to reset and be this new story with these new characters, in which it is, but that motive does not hit the way Billy's motive did, and how serious tone Billy was in the first movie. And you know, everybody was, you know, you have serious, sadistic, dark Billy over here, and then you have goofy Matthew Lillard. You got Stu Macher over here, and he's just the crazy, funny guy, you know. And everybody loves Stu Macher. We do. But not every killer needs to be so goofy. You know, it's like these killers get revealed in the new films, and they're kind of wimps. They're kind of not scary. They lose that dark value of them. That whole menacing of Ghostface being intense and aggressive and killing and mean throughout the entire movie within the Ghostface costume is awesome. I just wish they could keep that same tone when they reveal our killers, because it's kind of like the feeling I got at the ending of Scream 4. I was kind of like, there's no way these two little kids did all this vicious killing and blah, 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 blah. You know, like, we can talk about height differences and all that kind of stuff. Throw that away. I'm talking about the way they portrayed their characters whenever they were revealed. They were just kids, and they were just not you know, Billy and Stu were considered high school kids too. But when Billy gave Sidney that motive about his mother walking out, and how, you know, Sidney's slut mother was fucking his father and all that kind of stuff, like the look that he just kind of got on Sidney and was dark about it, and it got real serious. You even saw the expression on Stu Macher's face. It got real serious for him. Like, that was a surprise to him. It seems like, we can never confirm that, but that's the way it seemed in that scene.
Why did you kill my mother?
Why? It took it to just a serious moment, you know, and Billy did not break that character, you know. But whenever Richie or Amber, you know, they're just so goofy, and Richie just starts getting his ass kicked, and Amber starts getting his ass kicked. Like, you didn't feel threatened by these two. But at the end of the movie, there was no real, like, oh, they might not make it out of this, because how serious it really is getting. You know, it just seemed like, oh, they're gonna beat these kids' ass. You know, it's gonna be okay at the end of the day. And the same thing with Scream 6. You know, like, yeah, we got something different. We got 3 killers, which was kind of cool and different. But, you know, 2 out of 3 of them were not serious. The more serious one was Quinn. But Detective Bailey and Ethan were just hamming it up. And I did not like that. And I don't know if that was the director's choice to tell them to do that, or if that was the actor's choice, just the way they wanted to portray the characters. And the director was like, yeah, that's fine. But it started just like, didn't feel right. The tone was completely different than the other movies. And I blame all of this with the confusion of where we should go with Scream because of the Stab franchise. If we just did not introduce, if we only did that once in Scream 2, and we didn't have to go to Hollywood for Scream 3, even though I do, you know, the more I watch Scream 3, I do enjoy it, but it needs to stop there. Like, Scream 4 is probably my least favorite. If you've been subscribed to Destination Station, you probably already know that. And also do that if you're not, you know, if you want Scream content and horror content. But yeah, but that's what I wanted to talk about. I want to know how you feel about the Stab metaverse, Stab movie within a movie, you know, mirroring their lives and all this kind of stuff. But it's kind of in a hammy way, and then it also brings down the quality of the Scream franchise a little bit, you know. So I do like the approach that Scream 6 was kind of taken with kind of putting in the background. This is more of a revenge story, and no one gives a fuck about the movies. That's kind of like Ghostface's thing. But I'm concerned about Scream 7 for a couple of different reasons, because Radio Silence is out of the directing chair. We got Christopher Landon there. Christopher Landon is a terrific director, no doubt about it. But the movies that he does have under his belt has been kind of horror comedy-ish, okay? Happy Death Day movies, you know, with like all those type of movies. Like, I don't want my Scream movie to become Happy Death Day. That's one thing. And 2, I don't want to be focusing on Stab. So are we going to double down on Stab meta stuff, or are we going to step away from it and we're going to bring something new to the table, and we're going to bring something serious, you know? Even like a Stu Macher would even be, you know, fresh. Even though a lot of people are expecting it and wanting it, we may get it, we may not. But it's probably going to be better than anything Stab related. You know, let's take it back to, you know, like we're almost like rebooting it. You know, like let's reboot Stab and just keep it as that. You know, like somebody wants to remake Stab or something. You know, but don't focus on the Stab franchise. You know, that's a way to reboot the Scream franchise. You know, like I don't really want to do a remake of Scream. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm sure someday, way down the line, they will. But I love my Neve Campbell. I love Courtney Cox. I wish we still had Dewey. I think that was a bad move. But I do want to take it in a more serious approach, and I want the motive to be something serious, something meaningful, something that feels like it's dark and our killer is something serious right now. I don't want a Mrs. Loomis. I don't want just a regular old revenge story. I want something good. I want good writing behind the motive, and I want our killers to be serious. I want that same tone that Ghostface gives throughout the movie that they give when the killers get revealed. When that mask gets taken off, I want that. I need that feeling. I haven't had that feeling in a long time. The movie's always great all up until the reveal, and then it kind of just goes a little bit more one-liners, and it just feels like a totally different tone of a movie. So, but I love them all. I love them all. I'm not sitting here bashing on any of them. I just think that we introduced the Stab franchise, and it should have been introduced once, and then it should have been left in the back burner. Don't double down on it. I hope Christopher Landon and the team are not going to double down on it in Scream 7. I hope it's still in the back burner, and I hope whatever they have planned, we're not going to go too comedy with it. We're going to stay serious, and we're not going Happy Death Day with it. That being said, I love you guys. Thank you for clicking on this video. I'm tired of rambling. I'm pretty sure you are too. Subscribe to Destination Station if you haven't already. And let me know what you think about this Stab franchise. Do you like this whole meta thing? Or do you think they do it too much? Or do you think they need to veer back? Or do you think it should have never even been introduced, because that's where our comedy started seeping into the franchise? And then regular moviegoers are like, oh, isn't the movie like Scary Movie? And it gets mixed up like that. And I really think that's the fault of the Stab being introduced. Anyways, that's my thought. That's my opinion. Like it or not, this is Destination Station. Subscribe. I'll see you guys when I see you guys. I'll be right back.
I'll be right back.